Hello, my name is Kelvin Miller, and today I'm going to do a brief synopsis of the movie A Clockwork Orange. The director's name is Stanley Kubrick. He was born July 26, 1928, to Jewish American parents Sadie and Jacob Kubrick. He didn't get into film until he was around the age of 13. That's when his dad bought him his first camera, and it wasn't filming movies. It was photography. He really got into that, and over time he began to work on his first documentary, which was considered his first real film, and it was short. It was called The Day of the Fight. It was a film about boxing. After that, he started to get more attention in Hollywood, and he began to work with directors like Kirk Douglas on films like Spartacus, which was probably one of his better films. And he also released a number of other ones, such as Lolita, A Space Odyssey. Lolita is interesting because out of all the movies that I looked into from him, I liked this one the most because it was the most controversial. A love between a daughter and her dad, or her father figure, and how they should tell her mom. It was pretty interesting. He also released notable movies like The Shining and also Eyes Wide Shut, which was his final movie before he passed away due to heart complications. But the film we're going to focus on today is A Clockwork Orange, which is probably my favorite movie by him, which I didn't actually see until maybe a year ago. And I was just like, wow, such a beautifully written movie. It was based off a book written by Anthony Burgess in 1962, and Stanley Kubrick adapted into film maybe a decade later. But the movie itself follows the journey of four friends, and particularly Alex, and how they're a group of thugs, and it's a future set in a dystopian English town with hints of Russian communist vibes. It's pretty interesting. But overall, he and his group of friends, they commit a bunch of crimes. And Alex, because of some of the other members in the group, they want to basically set him up, and he gets set up and sent to prison. Throughout the entire film, it's just riddled with violence and little innuendos about drugs, and even just their little milk drink that they drink. Milk plus is milk plus what drugs. And basically, after he gets set up and sent to prison, it follows him through the prison system and how the government starts testing things on him, and they believe that they've cured him of his criminal tendencies. But towards the end of the film, you quickly notice that his criminal tendencies are still there, and if anything, it really just brings to light the complications of whether or not the government should be testing on people psychologically, social behavioral sciences, and etc. But the real importance of this film, I feel like, is its impact on pop culture in general. I feel like even just today, it's one of the most referenced films other than something like The Wizard of Oz. It was a really, really big film, especially I think for Stanley Kubrick, because that was one of his most engrossing films ever. Historically, it does touch on a lot of questions about government policies, especially in prison, and how they, in a way, take advantage of minority groups in order to see if they can help fix them, or if they believe that their personalities aren't what they should be. So I found this movie to be really thought-provoking for the most part, and this is something I noticed about a lot of his movies. They're different in a way that it keeps you on the edge of your seat, and you really want to know, you want to get into the mind of these characters. And yeah, I had a really good time recapping his catalog of films, because some of them I actually didn't see before, and they really got me thinking about a lot of things. So yeah, thank you.